Hello and welcome to the video lecture series on Swayam Pathshala Odisha. ଯୁକ୍ତ 2 ବିଜ୍ଞାନ ବା ପ୍ଲସ୍ 2 ସାଇନ୍ସର ଫିଜିକ୍ସର ପ୍ରଥମ ଚାପ୍ଟର that is unit and dimension. ଆଜି ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା unit and dimensionsର basics and କିଛି problem solve କରିବା ଯୋଉଟା କି ଆମର NEET exam କିମ୍ବା IIT JEE OUAT exam ପାଇଁ କାମରେ ଆସିବ. So in physics there are two types of quantities. One is called fundamental quantity and the other quantities are called derived quantities. Okay. So what are the fundamental quantities? जाको कि हमें base quantities बोली भी कहू, base quantities बोली भी कहा जाए. Okay. So fundamental quantities or base quantities are those quantities which are not derived from other quantities. So there are 7 types of fundamental quantities. Okay, they are independent in nature. So what are they? They are length, time, mass, electric current, temperature, luminous intensity, and amount of a substance, that is called mole. Okay, and these are the names or the unit name that is expressed in meters, seconds, mass is expressed in kilogram, electric current in ampere, thermodynamic temperature in Kelvin, luminous intensity in candela, and amount of a substance in mole. Okay, and the symbol of these units are represented in the third column. Okay, but what are derived quantities? Derived quantities doesn't exist independently. Okay, so derived quantities has to be derived by using fundamental quantities. So what is volume? Volume means length cube. Okay, length cube is considered as volume. So density is mass per unit volume. Okay, volume is again expressed in terms of length. So these are all used, the fundamental quantities are used to derive such quantities. Okay, similarly force is mass into acceleration, and this again acceleration is expressed in terms of velocity by time, and again velocity is expressed in terms of length. Okay, so these are all derived quantities. There are number of derived quantities in physics, but fundamental quantities are of 7 types. Okay, so in unit and dimension chapter, you will basically come across various conversions. Okay, like 10 to the power 9 is giga, 10 to the power 6 is mega, 10 to the power 3 is kilo, 10 to the power minus 2 is centi, and there are different conversions written here, like 10 to the power minus 9 is nanometer. Like suppose 1 nanometer can be represented as 1 into 10 to the power minus 9 meter. Okay, so these things you will frequently come across these conversions, so you have to remember this table. Okay, so the next point, so SI units or base units, that means the units of fundamental quantities. Okay, or the base quantities you can say. What is SI unit? That is international system of units. ତିନି ପ୍ରକାରର actually depending upon ଆମର କ'ଣ ଦରକାର. Okay, calculation ରେ, so depending upon those different types of unit systems were used previously, ଏବେ ବି यूज करा जाए, किंतु internationally accepted standard units होची international system of units, that is SI units. Okay, so आमे आउ भी बहुत सारा units यूज करू, जेमति कि CGS unit, that is centimeter. Okay, G stands for gram and S stands for second. सेमति कि MKS system, जेमति कि MKS unit system माने मीटर, एटा होची तमरो कोन के मीटर, एटा होची तमरो सेकंड, and K stands for kg. Okay, so there are different types of other unit systems used, but internationally accepted system is SI unit. Okay, so these are the base quantities mu eta kahithili aro slide re, and these are all symbols of the units. Okay, so similarly derived units ro bibhinna SI units likha hichi, and there are different number of SI units. Okay, so the next point to remember, আমি যদি astronomical unit कहू, এই তিনোটি गोटे important point, a conversions মনে रखिया उचित. One astronomical unit is defined as the mean distance of the earth from the sun. Okay, ଆମର ପୃଥିବୀରୁ ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ ଭିତରେ जो mean distance ଅଛି ତାକୁ ଆମେ କହିବା 1 astronomical unit. ସେମିତି 1 light year, 1 light year, it is the distance traveled by light in 1 year, that is expressed in 9.467 into 10 to the power 15 meter. Okay, so jehetu ki large distance, when the distance between astronomical objects are calculated, they cannot be calculated by simple meter or kilometer, so they have to be represented by 1 light year, 1 light year, or 500 light year. Okay, so likewise they are calculated. Okay, so similarly, parsec, 1 parsec is equal to distance at which a length of 1 astronomical unit subtends an angle of 1 second of an arc. So 1 parsec is equal to 3.084 into 10 to the power 16 meter. Okay. So the next, so suppose देखिवा, we want to find out the area of a square of side 1 meter, or the area of a cricket field, or the area occupied by a small organism. तो ये तीनोटी केस रे area of different quantities will differ. Okay, so गोटे square area of side 1 meter, तार area definitely बहुत कम as compared to the area of a cricket field, and that is again very the area occupied by an ant is very small than these two quantities. Okay, but the quantity area doesn't get affected. For calculation of area ame kon dakar tar unit kono gote area ro unit jodi ame meter re lekhiba, so meter square lekhi pariba, kimba centimeter re lekhile centimeter square lekhi pariba, so kilometer square emti lekhi pariba area. Okay, so area ro unit kebe bi vary karibani. So sei sethi pai gote term asila amar physics re, that is called dimension. That means area को define करिया पई हमको length रो दुईटी quantities use करिया को पड़ची, that is length into breadth. Okay, suppose or 1 meter square माने a square, जदि square रो हमें calculate करूचे area a माने दुईटी length रो square l into l square, so l into l. Okay, so एमती एई केस रे कोन होउची, so area doesn't get affected, से बड़ा हो किंबा छोटो हो, but the dimension of area never gets affected. And देखिबा next examples रे will be clear what is dimensions and different quantities or dimensions केमती express करा जाए. So suppose हमें देखिबा force is equal to mass into acceleration. हमरो physics रे mass रो dimensions को हमें एमती लिखा जाऊ, any quantity रो dimension को एमती गोटे square bracket भितरे ताकू define करा जाए. So mass को एमती m माने invert covered within a square bracket. Okay, so similarly length covered inside a square bracket. Okay, time को सेमती represent करा जाए t covered in square bracket. जदि second square अच्छी, जदि मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर अच्छी, ताले हमें केमती लिखिबा L1 t minus 2. ओके, माने t ता डिवाइड हला, सो दैट इज व्हाई एटा -2 हे जीवो. मीटर माने कोन लेंथ रो गोटे क्वांटिटी, सो लेंथ 1 t minus 2 एमती हमको लिखिया को पड़िबो. सो मास इनटू एक्सेलरेशन माने मास रो डायमेंशन हे गला m एठी ए जगह रे, and acceleration टा कोन velocity by time, so that is again equal to distance by time again divided by time, so distance by time square, so L1 t minus 2 एटा जोटा मु लिखिली acceleration रो unit. Okay, so acceleration रो unit जदी मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर, so तार डायमेंशन हे जीवो L1 t minus 2. so एटा हे गला तमरो acceleration रो डायमेंशन. so force रो डायमेंशन हमें केमती लिख परिबा m1 L1 t minus 2. एई स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट रे एमती हमें गोटे टर्म रो डायमेंशंस को रिप्रेजेंट करि पारु. सिमिलरली देखिबा एमती बहुत गुडे क्वांटिटीज अछि फिजिक्स रे जहार कि डायमेंशंस अछि, एंड हमें सबु जे माने क्वांटिटीज रो डायमेंशंस हमें जेमती कि बाय हार्ट करि परिबेनी. सो वी हैव टू know the procedure how to calculate the dimension of a quantity. Okay, so एमती वर्क रो एनर्जी रो, सो पावर, pressure, velocity, momentum, volume, एमती विभिन्न quantities रो dimensions हमको questions रे देइथिबो. so we have to find out such the answers. Okay, so I mean what is the dimension of epsilon 0? Epsilon 0 ta kon physics re ami janche epsilon 0 mane permittivity of free space. Okay, ami janche electrostatic force ro jodi electrostatic force ro formula ami eti lekhiba, so that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r square. So q1 ta mane kon, q1 is charge or q2 ta hochi charge. Okay, charge रो डायमेंशन आमे एमती c ब्रैकेट रे एमती लिखि परिबा किंबा चार्ज ता कोन एम्पियर इनटू टाइम, सो a इनटू t भी एमती भी लिखि परिबा, सो a1 t1 एमती भी लिखि हबो. ओके, एंड आ गोटे जिंस मन रखिबो, एठी जदी लिखा हिची m0, m0 इज नॉट इक्वल टू द नॉट इक्वल टू 1. ओके, m0 माने मास रो कौन सी डायमेंशन नहीं, एटा एक्सपोनेंशियल वाली भाबिबनी जेमति कि e टू द पावर 0 हमें 1 लिखुचे किंबा 2 टू द पावर 0 इक्वल टू 1 लिखुचे, सेमिति एटा लेखा जीवो नहीं. सो सेमति एठी कोन आसी गला, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक फोर्स इज इक्वल टू दिस मच क्वांटिटी. सो सेटा को जदि हम डायमेंशंस हिसाब रे देखिबा, सो हमें ऑलरेडी फोर्स रो डायमेंशन एठी कैलकुलेट करिथिले, दैट इज m1 l1 t minus 2, that is Newton. Okay, and meter square, meter माने length रो square हे जीवो, and coulomb square टाको आमे a square t square भी लिखि परिबा. So जदि आमे ऊपर को सब क्वांटिटी नै जीवा, so m minus 1 l minus 3 t4 a square. So this is the finally the dimension of epsilon 0. Okay, similarly आमे देखिबा डायमेंशंस रो केते गुडे प्रॉपर्टीज, कोन भलो भलो प्रॉपर्टीज कोन अछि डायमेंशंस रो. सो आमे एठी गोटे इक्वेशन नेले, दिस दैट इज कॉल्ड यूनिवर्सल गैस इक्वेशन. आमे केमिस्ट्री रे पढिबा कि फिजिक्स रे भी, सॉलिड स्टेट फिजिक्स रे पढिबा. सो p plus a by v square v minus b is equal to rt, एटा होची हमर इक्वेशन. सो दिस इक्वेशन इज कॉल्ड यूनिवर्सल गैस इक्वेशन. सो आमे एठी गोटे प्रॉपर्टीज अछि डायमेंशंस रो. Two quantities of same dimensions always get added or subtracted by each other. Okay, the duity quantity, suppose pressure plus a by v square is your term, ए दुईटी क्वांटिटी रो डायमेंशन समान सब बेले हेइथिबो. जदि प्रेशर रो डायमेंशन होची x, ताले a by v square रो भी डायमेंशन एमती हमें लिखि परिबा x. ओके, सो दुईटी सेम डायमेंशंस रो क्वांटिटी सब बेले एडिशन होंती किंबा सब्सट्रैक्शन होंती. जदि v रो डायमेंशंस होची, जदि v रो डायमेंशंस होची x, सो सेमती b रो भी डायमेंशंस कोन हे जिवो, b इज आल्सो x. ओके, सो एमती हमें कैलकुलेट कर परिबा. सो एठी सपोज हमको क्वेश्चन में मागी छी फाइंड द डायमेंशंस ऑफ a एंड b. तो एठी कोन हे जिवो, जदि p stands for pressure here. Okay, in this equation p stands for pressure. So pressure आमे pressure को pressure dimensions लिखि परिबा force per unit area. So आमे जदि force और dimensions divided by L square करिबा तो हमको finally a quantity टा मिलिबो, that is m1 L minus 1 t minus 2. एटा होची pressure रो dimensions is equal to again a by v square, माने a by v square रो dimensions मध्य समान रहबो. So एठी v square रो dimensions कोन, L cube v माने कोन वॉल्यूम, वॉल्यूम टा कोन लेंथ रो तीनटा क्वांटिटी मिसिले वॉल्यूम हुए. सो L3 एमति लिखि परिबा. सो एठी हमें लिखिले L3 पुनी एटा स्क्वायर अछि, सो स्क्वायर माने 6 हे गेला. ओके, सो एटा जस्ट हमें आरपट को जदी नै जिबा a रो ये डायमेंशन से जिवो, हम जोटा क्वेश्चन रे मागी छी m1 l5 t minus 2. So this is the dimensions of a, constant a in the universal gas equation. Similarly, what is the dimension of v, where v ta hochi v ro dimensions samad saito saman habo, kaina same dimensions always add each other. So v is equal to l cube. Okay, हम जानचे volume रो dimension हबो l3. Okay, l cube eta hochi dimensions of v. And dimensional analysis रो out a important properties होची, dimensional analysis helps us to check the correctness of an equation. Okay, जदि s is equal to ut plus half at square गोटे equation अछि, ताले s रो dimension जा हबो, that is left hand side LHS is equal to dimension of RHS. the dimension of left hand side is always should always be equal to the dimension of right hand side for a correct equation. So हमको questions रे देइथिबो विभिन्न options देइथिबो and चारटा equation मनकर देइथिबो पचाइथिबो which of these following equations are correct. Okay, so in that case you have to go through the dimensional analysis, this one. Okay, so another important point of dimensions are dimensions of sin x, cos x, log x, e to the power x are dimensionless, where x also have no dimensions. Okay, so I mean just sin theta, cos theta, log x, e to the power x, ये सब जो quantities आसे our mathematical expressions. So in these expressions are dimensionless quantities, and where this x also x is also dimensionless. Okay, so सेमती गोटे क्वेश्चन आम एठी नेले p equal to p0 e to the power minus alpha t square, where t is time and alpha is a constant. So find dimensions of alpha हमको क्वेश्चन में देछि. So आम जानले कोन e to the power x रो dimension 0 किबा x रो मध्य dimension 0. So एठी x ए जगह रे आमे alpha t square नहीं परिबा. ए जो क्वेश्चन रे हमको alpha t square e to the power minus alpha t square देछि. So एठी minus positive रो किछि value नहीं, but alpha t square रो dimension जो देखिबा is equal to 0. एठी कोन देछि t stands for time. Okay, so that means एठी कोन लिख परिबा m0 l0 t0. जदि 0 एपट साइड रो राइट हैंड साइड रो डायमेंशन 0, सो मास नहीं, लेंथ नहीं, टाइम नहीं, किंतु एपट रहिला कोन अल्फा t2 रहिला डायमेंशन ऑफ टाइम. ओके, सो सेटा जस्ट हमें जदि आर पट को नै जिबा अल्फा रो डायमेंशन आसी जिवो t - 2. Okay, so in this way we have to solve such problems. Okay, so thank you for today's session. For more videos on physics, please like and subscribe this channel. Thank you.